Hey there, Savvy Sisterhood community. Hello, hello, hello. So good at this early morning hour. All right. I'm very excited today because I have someone that I'm going to try and get this camera, number one, stable, and number two, in a better, yeah, I don't know. I'm in my car again. Hi, Mariel. Okay. Hi, Kristen. Oh, you diehards. Hey, Marielle, I'm very excited because I have actually interviewed her on my show on 30 Minute Moments. And I'm going to bring her right on. Hello, Eileen Watts. Hello, and Julia. Hello, guys. You're in for a treat today. I am going to bring Marielle on right now. She has this group called Lady Savant, and it's in Chicago. You should be getting on, Marielle. I found this cool system to get you on quickly. I love this. And she is doing miraculous work. But the one thing she knows about is women, just like me. And because we are one, we know about them. And we want to bring the best into your life. And here she is. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I
Hi,
am doing
Chris.
fantastic. Hey, I want to get people informed a little bit about your Lady Savant. Could you tell them a
Sure.
little bit about that?
Yeah, Lady Savant is it's an organization for female entrepreneur experts, and we have two sides of Lady Savant. One of them is a Savant School. So I'm a business coach, and Brandon, my business partner as well. So we basically create platforms and solutions for women to be able to get their business going, to get aligned with themselves. And really, I mean, it's all about very much about money, marketing, and soul. I think they're all
Ah,
connected.
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and that's a Savvy Sisterhood. We've got a lot in common. We've got a lot. Hello, Melissa, and hello, Sarah. All right. Well, today we're going a little bit edgy, guys, because these are issues, we talk about a lot of stuff that is important on our inside, but then we find that we get, you know, we get pushed from other sides to do things that sometimes affect our lives in ways that we don't even understand. And one of those is antidepressants. And I mean, right now, antidepressants are they say, what is it? 1 out of 6 people, 1 out of 6 people in the United States are on some kind of mind altering drug.
Wow.
That's terrible. At my kids' school, they're not handing out pot. They're handing out, the kids are finding these in their parents' thingamajigs, medicine cabinets, or whatever, oxycodone, Zoloft. This stuff is not this. I'd rather have my kid on pot than I would this stuff if I had to have a choice. I don't know. I know that in women in business, we're going to focus on that right now. And what I mean, do you find this, Marielle? Do you find this? I know in the community I live, I see it everywhere. Do you see it everywhere?
Yes, I do. First, I want to thank you for bringing me on your
Oh,
Facebook Live. I
yeah.
really, really enjoy your show,
Oh,
and I
thank
love
you.
being on your show a month or two ago, which was awesome.
Yeah,
And
that
yes,
was
we have
fun.
a lot in common, which I just adore you. So,
Thank you. You too.
with with what you just said, yeah, I think it's kind of become so commonplace and so socially accepted
I know.
that that it's just kind of cool for a lot of people. Not that there aren't people that need it, because it
Right.
is depression is a medical
It is.
it's an illness. It's an
It is.
illness, and for those people, that's not what we're talking
No.
about here at all. But I think one of the problems is that nowadays it's so easily prescribed, and it's like that line between, are you really ill?
Yeah.
Is there truly an imbalance in your brain, and that therefore you
Yeah.
need a little help? There's just, I feel like that line has been blurred,
It
and
has.
people just get prescribed that so fast. And obviously, from talking to you, I know you understand this. I'm very much in I'm pro soul. I'm pro
Yeah.
I'm pro
Me too.
being organic,
Yeah.
And I really do stand by the fact that if you want to fix anything in your life, including an illness,
Yes.
that like that, there's a way to do it. There's a way to dig deep.
Yeah.
And to find the solutions. But to answer your question, sorry, that was a little long-winded.
No, it's not long-winded. No. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Nothing long-winded.
I know. I just woke up with my coffee.
I know. I have one right beside me. I always have to. I do. Well, my tea. I do. I have to. I'm not a morning person by nature, so this is fun. But it is true. My mom has nursed two fabulous men, my dad and my stepdad, to death. Okay. And so she had a lot of grief. And then on top of that, her dog died, which was very bad.
Oh.
Okay, so she suffered all this stuff. Now, granted, my mom's a very strong woman, but she was grieving. Now, and it wasn't serious grief. What she was grieving was, what is my purpose? And so that's a process. You have to go through that process. She had been a nurse, a caregiver, a lover for 10 years. And all of a sudden that was gone. But when she went to the doctor, the first thing he wanted to give her was an antidepressant instead of working through it, instead of sending her to maybe a psychologist or someone that would help her deal with the feelings. They wanted to prescribe something. And we're in a society where I always say it's not a magic pill. We want the magic pill, but the magic pill has serious repercussions. And so you have to think about, I mean, Mariel, I brought you on because you do deal with so much with business. And what do you see, if you do, how this antidepressant or this mind-altering drug, how do you see that it affects women in business? Because I know it does. I want your opinion, and I've got mine too, but I want to hear yours.
I love this question because I'm really big. I really believe that sustainable success really requires for you to be aligned. And when somebody is 100% aligned with their mindset, with their spirit, their goals are aligned with that, things flow. And when women are, wrongly prescribed antidepressants, or they've made that more than a treatment, a lifestyle. I feel like anything that they can build is always going to be sustainable by them taking that. And I don't believe in that. The other thing that bothers me too is that I often see that there really isn't that those steps that women are taken through, women or men, whoever are on there. There's not really like a treatment. It's just like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And it's that lack of treatment, and steps and plan on, okay, this is when we're going to get you off. Maybe you need the push right now because your parent or husband died, something happened like that, which I get that. I mean, we all go through grief at one point of our life. It's just part of being human. And I think it's part of, like, it's really important to accept our humanity and go through grief and go through pain. And that's why it's so important to have organizations like ours where you find people to collaborate with, to support each other, to be each other's drug, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that answered your question.
It does. It's a start. Yeah, we'll delve deeper. Yeah, but you brought up a good point. Life is a journey. Business is a journey. And I always say the wonderful law of our universe, one of them, is the law of gestation. And and that is the law of becoming. And any goal we want in our life, we have to become what we want to attain. We have to, the tree has to put out its leaves to become a tree. And
totally.
So if we are taking stuff to alter us from this journey and the challenges, we are prolonging our attainment of that goal. It's not sustainable because we are not becoming the person who needs to have that goal or who deserves that goal or becomes that goal.
Yes.
Does that sound, Mariel?
It's faux. I totally agree with you.
Did you say faux?
Yeah, it's
faux.
It's a faux.
I love it.
It's like faux fur.
Oh, good. I am
It's
so
faux.
getting
It's
hip.
not real. No, I agree. Because you're basically becoming someone that you really aren't, because you're always on something, an up or a downer or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not really you.
Not you.
You know, I was going to say, to your point of becoming, I feel like it's so, one of the reasons that people get so confused and depressed is outside of, you know, finding their purpose is,
Yeah.
is they get lost in different identities and transitions in life.
Oh my God.
And when you aren't 100% solidified and comfortable in your current identity, or even in the chaos of the transition,
Sure.
if you don't feel like it's okay to be an explorer right now,
Right.
or it's okay to be in grief right now,
Right.
then that's, and you're trying to pretend that it's not, or you're trying to be something that you're not being.
Yes.
I think that that gets us very depressed sometimes, including me. I mean, we all go through it.
We do.
So if there's someone out there going through this stuff, like, you're not alone. We all go through crap.
We all
you
do.
know, it's just part of life. It's more like how you handle it. But so I deal with a lot of women that are in transition, whether they're in transition from corporate America to their own business, or from motherhood. They've been moms for a long time, and now they're starting another a business, or they're brand new moms sometimes too, and they get lost in this identity of mom, whereas before they were this badass CEO. Now they're like this, they're starting an identity all over. It's like, am I going to be a good mom, a bad mom? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? I want to be my best. You know, we're overachievers, a lot of us, in these things. But we have to get experience in order to become everything that we are meant to become in any identity. So I think that the identity crisis of, you know, during those transitions is a big reason why people get on antidepressants.
I think that's true. It's expectation. It's expectation.
Yes.
It's what they think, you know,
expectations from people and themselves.
Of themselves and from other people. Yeah, you're expected to be this great mom. You're expected to be this great businesswoman. You're expected to do it all. You're expected to be everything to everybody. And, you know, I think if you take off that expectation, if you just say, I'm who I am, with all my beauty, with all the faults that I may have, I am this wonderful person. And it's Alena Chapman, me, my person, that's going to be, who's got the honor of raising this beautiful child, or to start this business, instead of saying, I have to be the best businesswoman I could ever be.
Yes.
I mean, if you change the perception, then all of a sudden you're putting yourself in that journey versus putting yourself into a shoe.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. I completely agree, Alena. And also, it's like, you know, I was actually having this conversation with my BFF business partner yesterday about feeling comfortable in the chaos sometimes. You know, for example, you know, there's a woman that just transitioned from a corporate position to, and she's transitioning, and she hasn't really figured out whether she's going to open up a business, what she's going to do exactly. And so, you know,
the unknown.
It would be a lot, the unknown. And it would be a lot for her to, okay, let's figure out your life purpose right now. Sometimes you just need to be in that gray area of I don't know, I'm a little confused, I'm soul searching, I'm exploring. And to have someone tell you, okay, so at least you're clear that you're exploring, and that's totally awesome. It's fine to be lost a little bit. It's fine to grieve, you know. Nothing is going to happen because there's a net underneath you, whether we believe that or not, right? So unless we want to take things into our hands 100% of the time, and then that's where we mess things up.
That's where we mess things up. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
because grief and anger and all the stuff that makes people get into antidepressants, they are part of a process of becoming. And if you, I feel like if you let
That's right.
yourself go through it and live and not that you just have to wallow in depression and that's
No,
okay.
that's
No.
not good.
But I always, every time I go through anything like that, I say, okay, I'm going to give myself 2 days to cry and I'm going to
I
disappear
do
and
that.
I'm gonna lock my, you do?
I do. I give myself a time. I always, I think I learned that from my dad. That is so cool that you do that too.
I do.
Yeah, it
And it's
helps,
like,
doesn't
okay,
it
during
help?
that time, go for it. Eat all the ice cream I'm going to eat.
Yeah,
And I usually,
yeah. Just let me
self-soothing.
mourn. Let me mourn. Let me do my
Yeah.
confusion thing. Let me feel that chaos. Yeah. And then I take action after that. But I
And
allow
then
my,
take action, get help.
yeah, get
That's one of
help.
the things that I really believe in working with a coach like yourself is
Or
like,
you. Yeah.
it's really about being able, these people understand a different perspective, and
Yeah.
perspective is everything.
It is.
I mean, and it's
It
just
is.
one little seed. As you know, we plant
Mm-hmm.
seeds all day long. That's what we
All
do,
day.
right?
That's
That's
what
our
we
job.
do.
And sometimes the seeds germinate right there during
Right.
that session and they have this big breakthrough.
Right.
Sometimes those seeds will actually blossom while you're at the movie theater. And you're like, oh shit, that one thing that Mariel or Alena told me, it totally makes sense. It's like, isn't
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah, it
It's
is
like
true.
those seeds sometimes blossom at different times.
Yeah.
And that's priceless.
It is
Being
priceless.
able to have someone to help you, or if it's a good friend or
Yeah.
a parent that really truly
Yeah.
understands you and doesn't judge you. Like, I'm so lucky, like my father is that. Like, he's always, I'm like, the other day I was talking to him, I'm like, how the heck did you become so non-judgmental of me? Like,
Isn't that
I
cool?
can't do that with my kids. I'm like, you're doing this.
Yeah. Isn't it cool?
It's great
You
to
know,
have someone.
I think that that's exactly what it is. It is, it takes will. It takes will. It takes focus to say, all right, I know I'm in a chaotic world. I know that I'm searching. I, I have to say I've learned to love those periods when I'm saying, okay, now what? Where is it? Because I've learned that, gosh, my gosh, anything is possible.
Anything.
And it's what
So
I
true.
want to choose. And so it's more an exploration of being in a world where I can choose what do I want instead of what's going to happen. That's a perception thing right there.
That
Right?
is huge.
That is a huge perception thing. What do you want instead of what is going to happen to me? Nothing ever happens to you, by the way. And
No, we
and
create
we
everything.
create everything. So if we change this, we don't have to feel like everything is a suffer. And I mean, it really is expectation, and it's feeling like things happen to us that puts us in this victim. I have to take care of myself. Oh my god, I can't deal with this. Oh my god, the stress. I need my whatever. I don't even know that they're called.
or
I
or blaming. Oh, victimhood and
Yes.
blaming others go hand in
Good
hand, and
morning,
there's
Susan.
no power in it.
No, you give away your power if you become a victim. And if you
Yeah,
say it's all that person's fault, guess what? That person now has control over your feelings. Not cool. Not cool because you
not
can't
cool.
control it. So
Not cool, but it happens,
it
right?
does
Like,
happen.
it happens, and it's so funny that you say that. It's important that when you're in the dumps, you have a choice, and it takes practice.
It takes
Because I
practice.
remember not long ago, I got in an argument with my better half, and I got all sentimental and blamey, and the next day I'm like, oh my god, why am I'm in blamey mode, I am in victim mode. And I realized, I was like, oh my god, I am totally reliving an old story that happened when I was 8 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
That
Yeah.
moment of realization of choice, which is what you're talking about.
Yes,
It's like,
exactly.
oh, am I really going to live in this blamey BS?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
this is not what I teach my people, and I'm sure as hell not going to allow myself to do that. But that's taken years.
That takes, and we all do it. I remember I had the opportunity to speak. This was a big career move at it was supposed to be a very big event. It was supposed to have 500 people. It didn't, but that's all right. But it was my first time getting out there and speaking. And I remember they put me last, and there were 53 speakers or 33. So an astronomical amount. And I remember I was talking to my mentor, Bob Proctor, at the time. And I said, I don't know what to do. They're not going to remember me. I'm going to be last. And I said, and everybody's going to be selling. And I was really kind of like, why am I even going? Right. So I'm kind of in the dumps there. And he looked at me, he goes, being last is perfect. He said, and all you need, everyone's going to be selling, that. Just give. And he looked at me, he goes, Alena, perception. And he did that because he knows I know about perception, but even I fell into it. And I looked at him and said, oh my gosh, perception. See,
yeah, I mean,
that's what it is, guys. That's what it really comes down to. Anything that is like the worst in your life, you have to look at it in a perception. There's always another side to it. That's the law. A law of polarity. There's always another side. It's up to us to find that side. Don't you think?
100%. And that's why going back to the idea that having someone that you can speak to is so important, because it's when you're down in the dumps, you don't see that perception. No. It's very, very difficult to be able to step outside. But I love what Bob taught you, what he reminded you of. All you needed was the reminder.
I just needed, hey,
you're just looking at it the wrong way, but it's actually super cool. And when you get enough practice, you can totally do this for yourself, and it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And then you can just live happily ever after.
Oh, I love that. Oh. No, it really is.
Until the next thing happens.
Yeah, until the next thing happens. And I do think that, we're not both here saying that, okay, if you're on an antidepressant, I just got to stop that. You've got to consult with your doctor. And I'll tell you what, Absolutely. You can't just stop it, because most of them have to be tapered off. They are mind-altering drugs. They switch the chemicals in your brain. And it does. But I'll tell you something you can do. And Mariel, I would love it if you would chime in on this. But as you are deciding whether you want to taper off on those antidepressants, this is your time. This is your time. It is time for you to develop the tools while you're calm, while you're getting a little extra help, and trying to get the tools that'll keep you on a nice even keel, that will give you the fortitude that when you're off, you can do it without drugs. What do you think, Mariel? Don't you feel they can build on it now?
Yeah, that's why I think it's so important to try to get serious about finding your purpose and your passion.
Yes.
Because once you find that becomes your drug.
It does.
It changes everything. And you wake up in the mornings and you have a reason to go out and do things. And sometimes as women, our only reason is our family, right? Like we wake up and we're like, my kids are my reason for being. Yeah. And that's amazing. That's great.
It is.
And it's always going to be part of who we are regardless.
Right. Right.
But when you have another reason that's yours alone, for being and for waking up, I mean, that is such a big part of the healing process, right?
It is. The passion is the key. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to, we're not saying, oh my God, I got to change my whole career and live my passion. Yeah,
what does that mean anyway, right?
It's right there. No, don't switch everything, but start finding things that bring you joy, that real joy. Like for me, at one time in my life when it was a really bad time, it was journaling. I love to journal. I drop the kids off at school. I'd go and I'd journal at Starbucks or some coffee shop. And half an hour turned into an hour, and an hour turned into an hour and a half because I loved it so. I loved it.
You loved it, right? That's awesome.
And it was something I really looked forward to. And
Yeah.
it took away all the stress. These
Yep.
these little passions, or these things that we really want to just try, do it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that
Huge.
gives you a new focus, and it gives you something to look forward to, and it gives you self-worth, and it starts giving you confidence, and you're looking at the things that you're creating and you're saying, my gosh, I really did that. I really did that, you know?
Oh my God, it's so true. When I was transitioning from corporate America to motherhood,
Oh
I
yeah.
was one of those lost souls,
Yeah.
and I took a sewing class, and I started making little things for
Oh,
my son. Now we were looking at some of that crazy stuff that I made the other day. I was like, oh my God. But I just wanted something else that made me feel good. And I'm super creative. So,
me
at
too.
that point it was awesome. But it's really following those little things. And then I think I painted furniture. I did all kinds of stuff, just in exploration,
Me too.
and I really.
I recovered furniture for a while, and
Oh, you did?
I did, and I also well, we couldn't afford new, so I started recovering the old. And and when I was with kids, you took up sewing, I took up knitting. That's really fun. We really have to meet.
We do. We do. Oh, that is so funny.
It is funny, but it is. It's finding that creative side of you, and it really does help you to identify and
Yeah,
accept. It helps you also accept in an easier way. But so while you that's one of the skills that you can do while you're trying to transition off antidepressants. Of course, consult with your doctor, but also then building the gratitude, changing your perception on life, getting the
gratitude
tools
is
to change your
huge.
perception. It's
Yeah.
and you can do it. But when you're on it, I don't know, I've never been on antidepressants myself, but I do
I
see
mean,
what
either.
it does to people. I think really consult your doctor and see, because life is so miraculous.
And it's so short. It's
Oh
so
gosh, yes.
short. I went through a big operation in January, and
Oh,
after that I I realized how short life is.
it
It's like,
is.
oh my God, you
It
just
is.
never know. So
You
you
just
have to
never know. So who, well, I never pronounce his name right. Sangru, I think it is. He's a philosopher in India. Fantastic man. He always says the first thing you do when you wake up is say, "My God, I'm alive," and just say, "I'm alive. I got another day." And when you look at life this way, it becomes more precious, and you don't want to be not feeling it. You want to
Oh, yes.
and feel every moment. And
And gratitude is one of those things that's kind of like a magic pill to life.
it is.
And I don't
It
think a
is.
lot of people realize why.
No,
And there's definitely an energetic, scientific proof behind this. But
sure
any
is.
situation that you have in life, good or bad, there is something you can be grateful for.
Yeah,
And if you could just step into that moment of gratitude, it switches things around really fast.
it does. It does. It really, really does. It switches around. It takes the best part of your life right this moment and moves you forward. The very
Totally.
best part. You know,
I love that.
it really does. And it helps you to and I'll tell you what, if you're doing the gratitudes in the morning and the night, I'll give you a little dare. Find 3 things during the day that just make you go, "Oh, I'm so grateful for that."
Yes,
And
I
increase
love
that.
that.
Yeah. Okay, my dear. How, if they want to learn more about you and your lady savant and everything else, how can they get hold of you?
They can go to ladysavant.com to check out more. And
I
you
like
can
that.
we also have a Facebook group. You can do that. And you can just friend me.
Okay.
I love to have new friends.
And tell them your whole name now, or put it in, we'll put it in the links too.
Yes, my name is Mariel Alvarado, and I will go ahead and write it in the comments. And thank you so much for having me. I love talking to you. I feel like I can talk to you for hours.
I know, same here. I know when I come back out there, I am definitely going to get myself over to your place and your area
I would love that.
and let you
Would love
know
that.
we really need to have coffee or tea.
Agreed.
All right, guys, you are on your way. Start thinking about this. And if you're having problems or you know a friend that just lives by these wonderful drugs, you know, you're not swaying them anyway. And last thing is, don't be judgmental. Never be judgmental because you don't know they're going through. But help them explore maybe doing something they love. Help them to start see that life is really good and the goodness of life, and then they'll broach the subject and they'll open to you, and then you can talk to them about talking to their doctor. But most of all, we're here to bring each other joy and helping people to see the joy in their life. That's the best medicine you can give anyone. So, all right, watch for the link below. Connect with Mariel. She's a really cool person. And then also, if you want to learn, you know, to go to AlenaChapmanLife.com. And we got the prison effect thing going out there. And guys, last night we had a fantastic class. And I'll let you'll have to ask either Sally or Lisa or Beth or who, you know, the people in the class. And you got to ask them, what's with the hamster? What's with the hamster? And they'll tell you about it. It was a very cool class. That's level 2. You really do have to join that because that is a fun and really insightful class. So anyway, take care. Have a fantastic day and make it the very best because you woke up this morning. And Mariel, thank you so much for being a guest. Bye-bye now, and namaste, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.